Ooh. Oh my god. It's working so much better. Yay. I hope it stays like that. Let me show you what we got here. Uh, so, this, what does it look like to you? What do you see here? I'll tell you what I see. I see the frame, foundation, and frame of houses. Right? Streets, houses, backyards, front yards. Like, is there any other way to interpret what we're seeing here other than what I just described? Is it possible that this is just some, like, natural phenomenon, like some just natural type of topography that just happens to look like a neighborhood? Now, in this neighborhood, does it look like it's like Knuckle Dragon cavemen neighborhoods or like modern neighborhoods? Um, no, is this the kind of stuff that would make sense to be as old as it looks? Something that would look like this by now would have to be like pre 1900s. It'd be like probably pre 1800s even. It'd have to be like the 1700s to be looking this shitty by now. Except for the fact that 1700s didn't have neighborhoods that looked like this, did they? Certainly not. Like there was suburban sprawl in the 1700s, really? Well, you tell me what's going on here. How can you rectify this with the history, the narrative that we were told about in our forced K through 12 indoctrination? How does what we're seeing fit into that worldview? Like, when would this have had to have been built, and how could it now look like this if it, must have been built like sometime around 1950s for us to have, like, become modern enough to be building in this suburban sprawl type of way. We haven't been building like this for long enough for any of it to look like this yet. Right? Like, this is ancient ruins that God knows what the hell happened to it. But what, like, seriously, think about it. What would have to happen for a neighborhood to look like this? Like, this is basically, you would need like a volcano right next door to it to have gone off to explain what we're seeing here. Something to that magnitude of devastation, like just devastated this whole area. It's not like these people, like, one by one, just naturally moved out and then just decided not to live around here no more. Right? Like, some cataclysm happened. All these people aren't just gonna relocate and then, like, have nobody inhabit their home after they leave it. Like, usually when people sell their house, like, they sell, someone else moves in, and, like, it's the city keeps on existing without you. But here, everybody must have moved out at the same time, and they all decided, they all couldn't find anybody to buy their house, so it just became abandoned, somehow, and then Mother Nature just started slowly taking it over with dust settling out of the air. No, I don't think so. I think this is more like evidence for the biblical Great Flood. Right? Or I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. You tell me. How the hell can we explain what we're seeing here? I'll show you where we are now. Right in the middle of bumfuck Egypt. Except it's not. I don't think it's Egypt. It's like the Borat, wherever Borat was from, Kazakhstan. Yeah, it's Kazakhstan. Okay, so it's being hella slow again. I wanted to be able to. Wow, this is bad. I guess I gotta show you something different because Google Earth is not cooperating right now. So let's take a look at Aries for a minute. So you don't have to know how the constellation Aries looks to know that it's not supposed to have this many different looks. A hockey. It looks like a hockey stick because I could have swore that doesn't look anything like a hockey stick, nor did that. Okay. So, it looks like a hockey stick here, and the big one's the one right in the middle. There's two smaller ones on either end of a big ass one in the middle. Okay. Here they're all the same size, and it's a U. Okay. Doesn't really jive with the hockey stick over here, but okay, maybe it's just artistically interpreted slightly differently. But then now we got a U and a hockey stick at the same time, I guess. Like, how does that fit that? Like, which one of these is fucking up? Like, it's just, does this one have it right? And these two bimbos just don't know what the hell their shapes are and how to copy them correctly? Like, or is this bimbo the one that's got it right, and these two are just mental midget rejects, you know? Like, some, you know, they can't all be correct, right? It either looks like that, or it looks like that, or it looks like that, but it can't look like all three at the same time. Alright, and then this one, what the hell's that? I don't even know. I might have been blocking it. This one looks like that way. Alright, this one looks like that. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, we got another hockey stick. Cool. Now, here's one we haven't seen at all yet. This one looks kind of like a cockroach, I guess, or a kite. And then this one's interesting, but it's got 2 and then 3 in a triangle and then 2. Like, that's not like any of the other ones, right? So, you know, obviously a Mandela effect. I don't, hopefully I don't need to convince you anymore that, you know, constellations aren't supposed to change that much. I mean, they're not supposed to change at all, actually. Like, just between these two is, like, way too much for there to be any, like, explanation for. Like, that's, nope. You know, they can't both be right. And then what the hell happened here? We saw another one that had like a triangle, but then there was 2 in the face. But this one's not like that. This one's triangle here, triangle there, and like a bunch in the face. let's go back to the other one so you know what I'm talking about. So this one, it looks like a triangle in the hindquarters and 2 in the face. Oh, okay, never mind. I do see a bunch in the face. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 6 in the face. My bad. Oh, and then there's another one right here. Okay, let's see. That probably fits pretty well then. Oh, except there's 2 triangles here. 1, 2, 3. It's different. It's different. Hockey stick. Okay, I think we might have been through all of them now. Yeah. But also with these ones, you can look at other signs too. Like, let's see, Cancer. Cancer looks like a Y. Here, Cancer looks like a J. And here, Cancer looks like a Y. Let's see. And Cancer looks like a Y here too. But let's see, there's other ones. Okay, Virgo. Virgo here looks like a Y, or no, let's see, what does it look like? It looks like an X, kind of. And Virgo, what the hell? Looks nothing like an X here. And Virgo, we don't even have Virgo here outside. What about here? Virgo. Wow. Yeah, look at that. So, this Virgo here, just, they got it wrong, I guess. Let's look at Taurus. Taurus here looks like a, I don't know how to describe that. Just remember how it looks. Okay, and that looks different. This looks like a silly looking Y shape. This looks like a, I don't know, a 9 or a P. Yeah, let's call it a P. But that's not a P. And then Taurus here, this one looks like a silly looking Y. But not, it looks different than this silly looking Y though. Because this silly looking Y has less straightness to it. It's like a straight Y. This Taurus has like all kinds of kinks in it. What else do we got? Okay, so you get the point. They're not staying the same. Let's look at Aquarius though too, for one for the road. Aquarius looks like a U with 2 wings. Aquarius looks nothing like that. Just refresh your memory. Aquarius is supposed to look like a U with 2 things. And here Aquarius looks like nothing, you know, just a straight line that's bent a little bit. And here Aquarius looks like, wow, it looks like a gimpy letter R. Kind of, yeah, just a lot different. Aquarius there, Aquarius here, and Aquarius here. Way too different. Like, which one of these, like obviously these people are making these things for a living, and they're trying to sell them to people like that are that sign, and that it's just, it's not possible they can be getting it. Maybe you didn't see it. It's not possible that they're getting it as wrong as we're seeing it being. If that's the way Aquarius looks here, then that means this is a completely different timeline than when Aquarius looks like this. And then they're both different timelines from when Aquarius looks like that. Because I don't think that 2 out of these 3 bitches are just dumb as hell. and really screwed it up that bad. I think they all got it right, but this is just more evidence that the Mandela effect is true. Now, oh wow, I'm sorry, you're supposed to be looking at my beautiful face. And you're seeing my crotch instead, but my crotch, I guess maybe you like that better. But let me show you the Amtrak one again. Amtrak 1 dead. Hitting a track. That's not how you spell tractor. So I'll try to provide the images or the links to the images in the description below, because this one's pretty interesting. So right there it is, right there, and this one right next to it. So they both say train derailment near Bainville. Train derailment near Bainville. All right, that's bigger, big, and big. Good. But this one, and they both say number 9. They both say the same thing. Derailment near Bainville leaves 1 dead, several injured. Okay, number 9. Number 9, but do you notice the difference? Of course you notice the difference. The roof is gray on this one, and it's blue on this one. How the hell is that possible? And it's not just that, too. There's other more subtle differences. Like, okay, you see this box right there? I guess that box is there. Okay, this red stripe at the bottom. Like, there's also a red stripe here, but it's very... it's a lot smaller, harder to tell. This, like, whatever that is, that canister at the bottom. This one's like short and fat. This one's long and skinny. This gray box back here is just noticeably different looking. And then the logo itself, it's like much wider here. And the train too. The train's a lot longer there. You know. Oh yeah, another thing. There's no green grass around the bottom here. Like, I guess maybe a little bit of that. That doesn't look very green. This is lush vegetation, and there's also like a fence post right here, like a bunch of fence posts that we don't see here. Like, yeah, there's just so many very subtle things. And the Mandela effect is usually like that. Like, it's usually so subtle that people have a really hard time even noticing any changes at all. But this is an example of one that's a pretty drastic change, and I try to point these finds out as often as I can, because I know that I'm the only one doing it. The only other times I see people pointing out these things that I find are when people accidentally stumble on it and they don't know what the hell it is that they're showing, and they, like, Flat Earth British, for example, he showed what I know to be a Mandela effect, but he thought that it must have been like a fake staged clip of San Francisco, because it didn't, the area didn't look the same as a different video clip, and he thought it was just staged. But yeah, like, if this isn't a big deal to anybody, then damn, I guess even miracles aren't a big deal. Because I mean, is this not miraculous to you? Like, do you think that anything other than God could possibly cause such a thing? Like, this is definitely some biblical religious, like, yeah, biblical and religious shit. Because how could mankind be responsible for what we're seeing here? It's not possible. This is a spiritual event. And guess what? The Law of One and the Bible both refer to this exact event. You go to the Law of One, the raw material, and go down and click on where is it? Earth history. Oh, click on harvest. Can you say anything about the coming planetary changes? I am raw. I prefer to wait. The changes are very, very trivial. We do not concern ourselves with the conditions which bring about harvest. So check it out. So the Bible talks about harvest time also, and it says the wheat and the chaff will be separated. Well, and that's where they get the idea of the rapture from. People are going to be separated, and the wheat and chaff, and so they think people are going to get raptured. But with the Mandela effect, that's showing us different timelines. It's showing us that how the wheat and the chaff are going to be separated, not with any rapture, but with just very subtly different timelines that people wind up on. And so the timeline that you're on is going to be directly related to where you're vibrating at, where your frequency's at. Like, because if there's going to be a paradise on earth, or like a golden age type situation, the wheat and chaff would have to be separated, because it wouldn't be a golden age or a paradise any longer if really negative and violent people were allowed to be there. So that they have to separate the wheat and the chaff, because you just, it wouldn't be a place where anybody would want to be if there's a bunch of negative people there. So your level of negativity and your levels of gratitude and just where your frequency is at is going to determine whether or not you're a wheat or chaff, and what timeline you're going to wind up on. And this shows us that different timelines do in fact exist, and they're even being blended together. At least I'm being shown, like I'm definitely currently in multiple timelines at the same time right now. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to be seeing both of these, because it's one thing that there's different timelines, but it's quite another to have multiple timelines being shared at the same time. Like, why are these two images that are clearly from different timelines currently being viewable at the same time? I don't know the answer to that question. But I do know that it's related to harvest and very, very trivial planetary changes, because isn't that what you would call this too? Very, very trivial changes. It's just, there's just more blue here. That's pretty goddamn trivial if you ask me. Anyway, that's I guess that's all I'm gonna talk to you about right now. Let me know what you think down below, and you gotta help me. You gotta share this. This is it's gonna fall flat on its face, and nobody's ever gonna see this if you personally don't get involved and assist and share this. And if you can't share this, like, give me some constructive criticisms so that you can help me produce something that you wouldn't mind sharing with your on your social media. Like, help me help you, help me help people. Because, like, this information really isn't bad information that I'm giving. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not designed to trick anybody. I really mean well. And if people are atheist or agnostic, I would like them to provide an explanation for this that doesn't involve God, because I can't think of any explanation that doesn't involve God. Let me know, check down below.